Gary Finn grew up in a non-Christian home in the state of Connecticut. While he had a happy and secure childhood, Gary got a severe jolt at the age of 17 when he was serving in the Army and was told that he was being sent to Vietnam.
As a young person, we knew a lot about the war, and that a great many of the boys that were being sent over were killed or wounded quite badly, so of course I was quite scared.
Just before leaving to Vietnam, Gary broke his foot and ended up in a hospital together with the wounded soldiers.
I was laying in the bed, and I experienced these boys who had come back, who many of them had been wounded very badly, and life-threatening injuries, and many cases, and others they had become addicted to heroin. So laying there, of course, and experiencing that, and oftentimes in the night, I wasn't able to sleep because they were crying out with pain and sufferings through the night. So, of course, as a young man, I started to think quite soberly, actually. For the first time, to that degree, thinking soberly in my life.
God worked powerfully in his heart during the time spent in the hospital. One night, Gary had a vision that if he would give his life to God, there was a purpose for him.
So then I knelt down there on the side of my bed in front of all those military people and asked Jesus to take my life.
In the time that followed, Gary read a lot in the Bible and became gripped by the life that Jesus lived.
There was a life there. There was a life that the Word of God spoke about that I knew I absolutely didn't have. The life that I saw in Jesus, the virtues and the love that he had, and that selfless life that he lived, I knew I absolutely didn't have that kind of a life for myself. So that created that longing in me, that I could find that life, that I could somehow begin to live that life myself.
Gary had a deep longing for the life that Jesus lived, but at the same time, he was keenly aware of the sin in his own nature.
I had a very angry nature as a young person, and as we say, it took almost nothing for me to before I flipped my lid, and anger came forth. But little by little, I saw the effects of that, of course, on those who I had to do with. So a sorrow and a need and a hatred started to come into me that, I can't continue like this. This isn't the way Jesus lived. I can't continue like this.
This longing caused Gary to start searching, and after 5 years he came into contact with Brunstad Christian Church. Through the preaching he heard there, he received revelation about Jesus' life that he had never heard before.
I think little by little, then the revelation came to me that Jesus, that he had overcome in every point, and that I could go to him. He was my great high priest that I could go to receive help in my time of need. Little by little, that light came to me through the preaching, and so I started to seek him, and little by little, I started to get the victory that I was longing for.
Today, Gary lives in Connecticut with his wife Pat and their 13 children. The battle against the sin in his own nature, which he learned in his youth, continues.
And so now, of course, I'm in the latter part of my years, and I can say anger has been something which I haven't had to battle with for quite many years now. It's been under my feet. But of course, salvation is ongoing, and there are many, many things that God needs to liberate us from. And so, of course, I'm in that battle every single day to come more and more into that life of transformation, into the image of Jesus Christ. So love is to increase, and is absolutely needs to increase more in my life, and goodness and all of these glorious virtues that are in Him, they have their continuing fullness that we're enabled to partake of through faith and obedience.